studying the major hours of my studying as a morning person were missing, and this was creating a hindrance into the preparation of written in my end.
Hostel was not an option?
Hostel, as I live nearby only, so hostel was option for the candidates who are coming from other states. Like there are many Bihar candidates who are already occupied with the hostel.
Okay. So at the moment, then what do you plan? Now, one area are doing this defense, God forbid there is delay in your getting through, then what are you going to do? You're not going to join the college, or are you planning to join some other college?
Sir, I will definitely join the. I will apply for my defense attempts right now as much as I have like this entry after this and the NDA last attempt also left, and thereafter I will join the college for BTech.
Okay. Okay, Trishal, we will now first talk about your education, and we will start from class 8 onwards. Okay, what is the overall percentage of marks and grades you got in each class up till now? What has been the most favorite or liked subject, and there would have been reasons for those likes? And if there was a subject you did not like or you were not interested in, what was that subject? And once again, details. Then we talk about your teachers. Who is your favorite or admired teacher? And once again, what is special that you like about him? Those details. If there was a teacher you didn't like, details of those as well. Then we talk about your friend circle. How friendly are you? How big is your circle? Your close friends. And finally, your best friend. And what is the reason that you consider him or her to be your best friend. Then finally we talk about the extracurricular activities and the position responsibilities that you may have held during your education.
So starting from my education onwards, my whole education has been done in Chauhan only from first to 12th. So starting from the percentage grade-wise from 8th class, in 8th class I scored 85%, 9th class I scored 87%, and in 10th class I scored 92.4%, 11th class I scored around 75%, and in 12th class I scored around 90.2%. So thereafter, talking about the teachers whom I liked were Mrs. Sushila ma'am, our maths teacher was the one whom I liked the most, whom I liked because in class 11th I was facing difficulty in maths, coping up with maths, and thereafter she is the one who had hold my hands and told that just with yourself you will do it. And as a result, I cope up and won the midnight oil, and thereafter I had cope up with also the maths. The teachers whom I did not like, there was no teacher whom I did not like because every teacher has told some of the other things that the whole helped about in the examination hall. And thereafter, talking about my best friends or the best friends, talking about my subjects. So the subjects I like were the maths and physics most.
Math and
Physics, sir.
okay.
Physics, and thereafter I was also because these subjects require a little bit calculation, and at first in class 11th I was facing difficulty because of this subject, but in class 12th I overcome that difficulty and I able to manage to win subject. So the subject I least like was chemistry, especially that the organic chemistry, because organic chemistry was getting a problem in road learning perspective and this question. But our teachers, my teacher chemistry ma'am, Mr. Santosh ma'am, has told us so well that we are able to cope up with this with different tricks at the last moment of class 12.
Right. Trishal, you have spoken about your favorite subject and your favorite teacher. Let's move on to your friend circle, your best friend, and your extracurricular activities and position of responsibilities.
So as far as the friend circle is concerned, I have a lot of friends, but the two close friends of mine were Shrey Kumar Singh and Shudyana Sharma, as we shared a common goal together. So we are more close, and we are also practice some different type of tests which are conducted in like the they are not together in a group session. So that makes our friendship bond more together by sharing our losses, by sharing everything. And thereafter, the qualities that I like about both of them is that both are punctual, disciplined, and are jolly person also. And the qualities that I least like about them is sometimes they focus on many things at a time, but I think that they should focus on one thing at a time that would more better. And I have also discussed this with them. And thereafter, if I talk about the position of responsibility I had in school, so I had in class 11, I had held the annual sports day. I was the second in command of the annual sports day march past. So thereafter, I had also commanded the Timaya House, which was named after General K.S. Timaya, a former general of Indian Army, and the Yellow House. And thereafter, if I talk about the extracurricular activity, so in extracurricular activities, I have participated in various types of quizzes, including the quiz of NDA Wish Quiz, which was there on the establishment of 75 years of National Academy. And also, I have participated in different and the annual sports day Marcos parade. That was the
Okay, so with this high percentage of marks and distinctions, you were not given any responsibility in school?
I had opted for, I was also the monitor in class 12, and I had also opted for head boy of school. I had cleared the interview part. There was two parts, like the interview and the lecture part, and the voting part. So I had cleared the interview part with the all HODs of different subjects of the school. And I had also given the lecture in front of all the audience who voting me. And thereafter, the voting part a bit less. I had scored in the voting. So that is the reason why I did.
Why do you think people didn't vote for you?
I think in school there is quite a mindset of giving something good for me, and this is like teach someone for the voting. And I have the leader's mindset, not a political mindset. So that was the main reason why
I don't think politics would be playing in school to become a voting for house captain. You can't buy your vote there. Obviously, people must be looking for something good to vote. Okay, let's take it the other way. Why did they vote for the person who finally became the school captain?
I think because he was in the sports, especially the football, and our whole school has a very liking towards the football. So many children are there in the football, and he has told everyone in a positive manner, that like vote for me too, as you have to see your seniors. But I do not participate in the football, and I have I have a kind of all-rounder personality, not particularly in a football.
Okay, so what was the criteria for making a monitor? Was it elective? Was it nominated? Or was it a routine thing where people came by turns?
The monitor is something which the class teacher looks for. So the class teacher my class teacher has identified something like with a gradual period of time in 12th. He had identified that I am a child who listens to everyone, who is punctual in the class, disciplined, and stick to the routine of class, and was paying attention to all the asking logical doubts and paying attention. So I think that is the reason why I choose the monitor I have.
Okay, Trishal, you didn't like to play any games in school because the army schools have a lot of facilities for games.
Sir, I have played with teams like badminton and shooting.
Badminton and?
Shooting, sir, 10 meter air.
Okay. Now in badminton, I see that the dimension of the court changes when you are playing singles and doubles. How does that happen?
So, sir, the dimension changes only the breadth part, not in the length part. It is the rectangular court. The length is same as 30 meters approximately, but the breadth part in singles is around 5 meters, and in doubles it is around 6 meters.
And what will be the height of the net?
The height of the net varies on the poles and at the center. So at the poles, the height of the net is around 5 feet 1 inch, which is 1.55 meters, and at the center it is around 5 feet, which is 1.52 meters.
And do you like to watch badminton also?
watch a little less badminton, but I take time to play. Yeah.
Can you name some prominent Indian badminton players?
The prominent Indian badminton players are, first of all, in this case, Vijay, who had won Olympic silver and bronze medalist, and he was the 2019 world champion. And talking about the next is Lakshya, who has recently won in the Paris Olympics. He had performed well, and thereafter talking about different men categories, Kidavi Srikanth and HS Pranav, and in women's category, Sania Nehwal and others.
Okay, Trishal, anything else you would like to highlight about your education days?
Education days, education days were so good, and they taught me a lot. The ABS environment is something which helped me punctual and what followed in both.
Okay, and then twice in the March past, what was your role or responsibility?
So the role of responsibility varied as I was first of all commanding. I was first of all preparing my troops for the Maya house, especially specifically the Maya house. But thereafter, my SP senior gave me the opportunity to begin with QIC. He saw the command. My command was good, and my direction was good towards addressing my juniors. So as a
What
result,
command did you have to give?
so the command varies like the parade bicycle as like the different command that is there to start the parade and to stop them to
When you were passing the saluting tag, did you have to give any command?
no sir, at that time I was not the main person who has to give command. It was the parade commander who had.
Okay. Okay, Trishal, what is the opinion of your friends about you? What do they think about you?
So my friends think that I am a disciplined and an amicable guy who likes to enjoy whenever in his spare time also go on trips and all. But simultaneously I also avoid trips when I have a lot of work load at myself, or either it is of study or either it is of something else. So I usually avoid this particular part sometimes, and they like that I am a little serious and takes decisions with carefully.
You take decisions?
Very carefully and in a quick manner.
Give me some examples of some significant decisions which you've taken.
The decision which I have taken is first of all the decision that in class 11th I was facing a little bit difficult science. So it was starting with the doubt that is there something wrong with the stream or something like that. But I took my decision that no, I am capable of it and definitely tackle it. So I go with that route and I scored higher. Thereafter, talking about when I left the college and before the end of September attempt, so there was also a bit decision that should I continue the college or I should prepare for A only by taking drops. So that I have taken the decision that I have till the time I have my tens, I will not give up.
And what happens when there is disagreement between friends?
We normally convince each other and it mostly sorted out by normal conversation.
What do you do?
Sir, I only play a role like if there is any convention, then what is the cause first of all, and why it is happening, and how we can tackle it together. That is the main.
Okay. Anything they don't like about you or they feel that you can improve?
Sir, I think they sometimes they don't like about me is the eagerness of me in doing any task. So I am quite eager in doing any task that is performed, and I think I need to be more patient. So for that I started meditation and other mental calmness of it.
Okay. Anything else?
Then anything else is sometimes when I speak in English, so I speak in quite fast. When I speak too fast, so I take gaps in between words, and I'm improving that by speaking more and more in front of you.
Okay, so we already give you an insight into your interests and hobbies. We'll go through them again. And also, how do you spend your full day? What is your routine? What time do you get up? And then in detail, how do you spend your full day? And if on a holiday or otherwise, sometimes it's different, those details as well.
So, sir, full day starting from I wake up around 5:30 in the morning, and thereafter I ready up, and in 6 o'clock I go for a run of around 2.5 or 5 kilometers. Thereafter, I came back, a small running routine and a stretching exercise. And thereafter, I came back home at 7 o'clock. From 7 o'clock, I have my freshen up and have my breakfast routine from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. This is my routine in which I most prefer my time to study. We would study either for practice some skills and different type of tests, or either I spend this time in practice for different competitive exams that are near. So thereafter, 2 o'clock, I have my lunch, and thereafter I take a nap of 30 to 40 minutes, and thereafter, if in that period I have something, if I had something to revise, so I prefer that to revise and at around 6 o'clock, then I go for a walk in the normal outside the house, and thereafter in the bath, and thereafter in night I have my dinner in the 8 o'clock around, and thereafter I just prefer to do anything which is left in the whole day routine, in study or in any particular person, and then after I read any book before going to bed.
So this routine is throughout, or are there some changes in certain days?
So, in certain days like the weekday, I usually spend my time in the morning around 7 to 9 by going to badminton court, which was near the Arunachal area. And I play badminton for a while. Then, at that day, I usually don't run on the Sundays. I take a rest and prefer to play badminton.
How much time does it take you to run 5 kilometers?
So, around 5 kilometers, I take around in 30 minutes.
30 minutes. So what is your speed in kilometers per hour?
For 10 kilometers.
Okay. Right, so that's very okay. So let's talk about your interest in hobbies and spare time activities here.
So my hobbies are mainly doing physical exercise. I also participated in few marathons, few cross country under the Gopal marathon, and thereafter I participated in cyclothons and one duathlon. Thereafter, I had also now talking about the reading part. I have read few books which I like the most were the Good Wife, Good Life by Bexley, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne Ma'am, Food Belly by Naruchi Fodder Ma'am, and Six Gates of Hell by Jugaad Fortune. So thereafter, I had also talking about my interest. I like to listen to watching military podcasts like the YouTube channel Monks and Warriors by Colonel Kaushal Kashyap, Gauri Chakra, and Lieutenant Colonel Kaushal. Thereafter, I also like to listen to music and hang out with friends nearby the
How do you choose which book to read?
I mostly prefer some books which are related to army, especially books related to NDA purpose, and thereafter I also prefer some self-help books.
Which is the last book you read?
The Good Vibes and Good Life by Rex.
Okay, tell me about the military podcast. What you see, what are the information you gain watching these podcasts?
So, watching the military podcast is a keen interest from my board days only. At the time of 12th boards, to get quite a bit pressure while preparing. So, in the whole day, we are studying and we take around 1 hour to prepare for our whole self in the evening. So, in that particular time, I used to watch military podcast because the lessons which are learned and the wars that have been fought by the officers when they were in service and before I was born. So I used to read a lot about the main course and about the mostly starching glacier operation and different type of operation that have been conducted through Rajasthan. And there was a mental rushing. There was various qualities that I have in them, and I have tried to inculcate those qualities.
Who would be your hero and which operation you think would be the most impressive from your perspective?
Mostly the operations which are conducted are covered only, but some operations that have been in the highlight, I would highlight, I would say, the operation make, which was I think captured for, which was held for catching Indian, was quite tough when described by the host. So it was something which I think is the most important, and the operation which was conducted in 1987 in Sri Lankan War against Delhi of my
Who was the officer who led Meghdut operation?
so the Meghdut operation, currently I am not recalling the exact office, but as far as the Sri Lankan War is concerned, I knew Major Abhay Sabru. I have learned about him. He was from one para asset.
Okay, and do the podcast show the recent skirmishes and regional wars also? Your podcast, do they show the recent wars or the recent skirmishes which are taking place?
The US Venezuela issue has been shown in that.
Okay, tell me about the Venezuela issue.
So, from the political perspective, this issue was not much about discussion, but from the military perspective, it was a strategic issue which has been planned perfectly to execute mission in under 8 minutes. That was the most historic thing. They had planned it. The Delta forces of the US planned it so well that they had abducted president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, in just 8 minutes of operation. In that operation, 250 fighter planes from 20 different bases of USA has launched at the same time to create a swarm of fighter jets on the sky of Venezuela, and thereafter the few helicopters who had came with the Chinook helicopters, the Delta forces landed on the perfect building that they had located. It was a joint operation with special forces and cyber warfare also, because when the operation was executed, the whole the light of whole city was cut off completely.
Okay, understood. Right. Peter will now talk about the family. How many members are there? What is each one doing? Why you closer to the type of responsibility you take decision somewhere if you are considered the qualities which you seem to have inherited from your family members.
Sir, in my family, there are, including me, there are 4 members. So my father, who is retired from army, or of military police, as a Nayak, and thereafter Nayak post, and thereafter he is working with revenue service. He has done his from an open university. And talking about my mother is a government teacher in the Balkira border village near Bhopal, and she has done her masters in sociology and economics from Shivaji University, Gwalior. Talking about my elder sister, she is currently pursuing her B.Tech in computer science and engineering in the professional university journalism. And now, if I talk about the time I was spent, so mostly my parents are not at home. Particularly, my father came on weekends only, and my sister came on only of college. So my mother is the one who I'm confined to most, or she is the one who really talks about. I talk about her routine, what is how she had spent the routine, and she talks about what I have done in the whole day. Thereafter, she also assigned me some tasks to like mopping and brooming and doing puja, and thereafter also cutting vegetables for the same. So in these tasks, I help her in the morning to get herself ready. Thereafter, so as a result, in these, so this is my goal. And whenever we are together, so I usually ask for my sister pursuing B.Tech in computer science and AI/ML branches, how exactly it is and what you have to learn about it. Talking about my father, so from father I used to, they do not disclose much about army. I like to know about army much, but with the photos available, I used to get to know about him also.
Okay, two significant similarities and differences between you and your sister.
So my sister, I am more towards physical part, and my sister is more towards the studies part. The second similarity would be I am quite amicable and I'm kind of ambivert guy, which changes on the situation of introvert and extrovert. But my sister is a quite an extrovert girl, and she likes to talk like with one to the. And thereafter similarities, we all share a we all are very determined in pursuing our careers, and we all have decided our careers from starting. And thereafter, the second similarity is that we all are punctual in our work set. That is the most.
Okay, Trishal, you say ambivert means you shift between introvert and extrovert. Situations where you are introvert.
So introvert is something I think very important because in a particular group, if everyone is discussing about something, so and if there is a fish market or a quite a busy kind of thing in a group particularly, so I prefer at that point of time stay quiet, and thereafter when I see that the opportunity is there, then I speak up with the front of it.
Okay, these are during discussion. This really doesn't count to being an introvert. In behavior, in social circles, other situations where you like to be in the background.
In the background, when any function is going on, so I prefer to stay on the particular platform rather than to stage when it is not necessary. And also, I talk to particular people whom I know before, and there are not openly conversation with anyone.
Okay, right. What do you inherit from your father and mother?
Inheriting the father, I equally inherited from both of them. So from father, I had inherited the discipline and the leadership qualities that he had imbibed. As I see my father, because whenever in my family, if anyone has to take a decision, so before implementing that particular decision, they always consult my father for the same. And this is how I learned that how army shapes the character and discipline, leadership qualities and everything. So I inherited, and from mother, I inherited a soft, amicable kind of personality, a jolly person who likes to talk and who likes to who has a good sense of humor.
On an average, how much money do you spend in a month and where do you spend that money?
So on an average, there is no specific place I spend the money, but whenever there is need, I ask my parents about the same, inform them about the purpose that why I am taking the money, and thereby they give me the money.
Okay. Now, preparing the fact that your father is being wearing a uniform, what are the other factors which motivate you to join defense?
So I came to Bhopal on 2012. So my class posting of my father. So before joining this school APS from first to KG, I remember a small nostalgic moment when I was studying in UP college school. It's just behind service station central board of Bhopal. So I used to see at that time some Bharyas getting a number of their friends and coming from the center. So and a plus with a plus side. So I used to see that why they are smiling so much and what is the so energetic moment. And thereafter this curiosity turned when I was in class 6 to 8 in class in APS. So this curiosity turned into passion and the excitement to and that this is the career what I wanted to pursue from starting and what I was looking for. And and I have a strong sense of urge towards a routine which is quite unpredictable, which is have challenges and have situations, and thereafter and does not have a predictable routine.
Okay, so if you go through NDA, how much time does it take you to become an officer? Where all are you trained? And what is the duration of training in each place?
So, sir, if I go to NDA, when I go to NDA, it will be around 30 years I have to spend in the National Defense Academy. There are total 6 terms, the autumn term and the spring term. So they are around January to May is the spring term, and from the in July to December. There is the autumn term. Now talking about the duration, I have to spend whole 6 months there, and thereafter I have to go to Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, for the further pre-commissioning training, for the commissioning training to become an officer in Hima.
Okay, Trishal, these days I believe before commissioning you are given an option to choose the arm which you would like to opt for. If that be so, what would you like to opt for and reasons in support?
I would like to opt for the parachute regiment as a youngster, as I think myself as a physically fit person, and I like to do physical things in defense building activities. And thereafter, when I am going to the army, I like to prefer work with the best weapons which are provided to SF budget forces, and the best equipment, best brotherhood that is built in para podcast, which I think is the most important point.
Which are the weapons which the para SF uses and what is the sniper rifle available with us?
The parasitic is the wide variety of wide variety of weapons. The main weapon, which is the assault rifle, TAR-21 airborne rifle, which is a 5.56 mm into 45 rounds rifle, and this is the most prominent weapon which is by the SF soldiers. And thereafter talking about the snipers, so it is a Bilbershek sniper is there, and a Dragno sniper, which is a 7.62 in 39 mm sniper, which is used by the and a Beret M38 is also a sniper which is used by the special forces.
Okay, Trishal, the army is divided into combat arm, support arm and services.
So the army is divided into three parts: the fighting arms, the support arms, and the services. The fighting arms consist of the infantry, mechanized infantry, and the armored corps. Now talking about the support arms, it consists of the Army Aviation Corps, Army Air Defense, Artillery, Engineers, and Corps of Signals. Now talking about the services, they consist of the MP, Corps of Military Police, ASC, the Army Service Corps, and different IAMP, Army Medical Corps, and etc. Other stuff.
How many commands are there? What is their location? Who is presently chief of the army staff? What is the motto of the army?
So, sir, there are total 7 commands in the Indian Army, which are spread all across the India region. So, the Northern Command headquarters located in Udhampur sector, the Southern Command headquarters located in Pune, the Eastern Command headquarters located in Kolkata, the Southern Command headquarters, the Western Command headquarters located in Chandi Mandir, South Western Command headquarters located in Jaipur, and the Central Command headquarters located in Lucknow, and the Airborne Training Command, its headquarters are located in Shimla. Now, if I talk about the current Chief of Army Staff is the Lieutenant General Upinder Kukreja, and thereafter the motto of Indian Army is service before self.
We also have an appointment known as the CDS. What is the full form of CDS and presently who is holding that appointment?
So the full form of CDS is Chief of Defence Staff, and it is currently held by General Anil Chauhan.
Okay, during this option though, the S-400 was in news for a long time. What is this S-400?
The S-400 is a air defense system that we have purchased from Russia with a deal of S-400 particular units that have been deployed. So S-400 consists of variable missiles which are shoot at a particular when the radar detects any unidentified object in the air that is coming towards attacking towards process like the APs and drones. So the S-400 operates immediately and it shoots at a particular target that has been assigned with a precise.
Okay, is it a static or is it a mobile defense?
So mostly it is a static and it covers a particular ring of sphere around in that particular sphere. It targets.
If you want to change location, you can't change?
Well, we can change because it is carried on a mobile vehicle like a truck.
Then why are you saying it is static? If it is on a vehicle mounted, then why are you calling it static?
Right, sir. So when it is established once.
Okay. Okay, How do you keep yourself updated on what's happening in the country and the world?
Usually, I prefer to watch current affairs. So I watch the world affairs like Career 247 by Prashant Dhawan, and I also watch some newspaper reviews.
Okay, update me on three important and current national and three international issues.
So talking about the three international issues, the first is about the US Venezuela issue. That is the major highlight topic today.
Okay, we have discussed that. Next.
Now talking about the next issue is the US imposing tariffs on India, threatening India to impose the tariffs. And the third issue is about the legal land, clean land issue, which has been coming to headlines. Talking about the national news, the Vande Bharat steamer train has been launched from Guwahati to Kolkata with a world-class facilities and washroom. That is the national news, and that is the first national news. Second national news would be the growing cyber threat and the AI push, which is artificial intelligence push in the global market of India. That is there. And the second, then the third would be the replacing of Magan Rekha bill by the Ram. Which is Bharat Gramin Rozgar and Ajivika Mission.
What is the difference between the earlier one?
So the earlier one in Magan Rekha, it was around, the employment was providing, but it was around, it was 10 days of employment provided to particular unskilled workers. But
10 days?
100 days, sorry.
Hmm.
100 days, sir.
Okay,
And
I got it. Got it. Trishal, from your own assessment, what do you think are your assets or your strong points? And there would be some areas where you think you can improve or develop. What are those areas and what are you doing for it?
So, talking about the strengths of mine, I think I'm a punctual, disciplined guy, and who used to do everything on time and prefers to avoid any lateness with that. And thereafter, I also think that I have a quite more heart towards the physical part of the body, and I prefer the endurance package. Now, talking about my weakness, the first weakness is the same only that whenever I fast, I take gaps in between the words. So I am improving that by speaking more and more in front of mirrors and doing more and more sessions. And thereafter, I have talking about the next weakness would be the that the eagerness into the task before implementing the task. So that is if I am improving that by patience, by being more patient, by meditation.
But Trishal, during our discussion so far, I didn't find any gap between your things.
I think this is one thing which this is one thing which I am preparing from a time, and I knew about knowledge gap is not better, but when there is any discussion which is going on in English particularly, so at that particular time I take gap.
Okay, so why do you think we should select you to become an officer?
Sir, I think the most important reasons are because of my upbringing from the childhood only. The APS environment which has provided me the punctualness and the stick to routine. Because of the participation of myself in physical challenges and taking the challenges in a decision-making manner, quick decision making particular things, and also holding the position in APS and and the learnings that I had inherited from my father. I think that is the main reason why.
Okay, if some reason if you don't get recommended, then what happens?
As far as the preparation is concerned, I am sure that I will get recommended. But if that is not in the case, so I will appear for my TSNP SSB with a JEE main score, and thereafter I had also Navy Tech SSB which would.
Okay, God forbid you are unfit for defense, maybe some medical issues. What are your alternate goals?
So talking about the alternate goals, doing a BTech from the Bachelor of Technology from a college, and providing and going towards IT sector, especially in coding and other.
Okay. Okay, Vishal, with that we finish.